Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing great. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I have created several playlists for various categories of the problems such as BFS, DFS, dynamic programming, trees, graphs, binary search, and so on. Please check them out. Also, I have uploaded the code for this particular problem to GitHub. You can get the link from description below this video. Let's jump into today's problem. Count triplets that can form two arrays of equal XOR. So given an array of integers ARR, we want to select three indices I, j and k, where 0 is less than or equal to I, less than j, less than or equal to k, less than array length. Let's define A and B as follows. A is equal to array of I XOR array of I plus 1 XOR until array of j minus 1. B is equal to array of j XOR array of j plus 1 until array of k. So note that the caret symbol denotes the bitwise XOR operation. Return the number of triplets I, j and k where A is equal to B. So basically here we are counting by dividing that array into or getting some sub array, not exactly dividing but sub array, right? So sub array where we have indices I, j and k such that A and B are equal. So where A and B are operations defined as array of I till array of j minus 1 XORed as A, and B is array of j XORed through array of k, right? So that those are the operations that we need to remember. Whenever A is equal to B, we need to count that as a triplet. So this is basically somewhat confusing. The thing is, we don't have to actually have all the numbers in the array. Okay, so when we are looking for these triplets, right, we don't have to actually cover all the elements through I, j and k. So we can cover even part of the elements, or even just three elements is also completely fine for this particular example, right? So let's try to understand through the working example, right? So I took an example from the example 1, the input. So 2, 3, 1, 6, 7. So the answer that we are expecting is 4. We want to return the count only, that is 4. So the triplets are 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 4, right? So let's try to understand. So the XOR operation is, I would like to present the XOR table, right? So XOR. So there are two things, right? Let's say X and Y and result, right? So if X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0, the result is also 0. Okay, and when X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 1, the result is 1. Okay, when X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 0, that is also 1. Okay, and X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 1, right? It will be 0. So that is the XOR truth table. Okay, so when X and Y are same, the result is 0, right? When X and Y are same, the result is 0. When X and Y are different, then result is 1. So that is what we need to remember for XOR. Okay, so now let's try to work out through one of the triplets, right? So 0, 1, 2, right? 0, 1, 2. That means I is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, k is equal to 2, right? So that is what we need to understand from here, because we are looking for the triplets I, j and k, right? So now let's calculate A and let's calculate B, right? Try to understand, right? A is, it is going from I till j minus 1. Remember, it is not going through j, it is not having j in it, but it is going from I to j minus 1. What is j minus 1 here? 0. So that means you are just taking one element to calculate I. So what is that one element? 0, right? So that is B is equal to 2, simply. Sorry, A is equal to 2. But so for B, in order to calculate, we go from j to k, right? J to k. J is what? K. J is equal to 1, k is equal to 2. So that means 3 and 1. So we need to do the XOR for 3 and 1. So since these numbers are integers, right, what we are supposed to do is bitwise XOR, right? So when you convert 3 to bits, that binary representation, right, 1 1, right, and XOR, for 1 it is just 1, but there is no harm in putting a 0 prior to that, right, because we want to have equal lengths for the two operands that we are trying to do XOR. So for 3, the length of the 3 is 2 in terms of binary, right? So 1 1. So we will make by putting 0 in front of 1. So this is also equal to 1. So now let's apply the XOR operation. So the first bit is 1 0. When it is 1 0, we put a 1 bit, right? And the next bit is 1 1. That is 1 1 is 0. So 1 0. So now if we convert back to integer, right, 1 0 is actually 2, right? So now A is equal to 2 and B is also equal to 2. That's why 0 1 2 is given as a triplet. So how many triplets are there in a given array is a question, right? So we are going to work out through the array by calculating exactly what we did here, okay? So we will go through, we will call, there are n elements in the given array, okay? There are n elements in the given array. So we will initialize a counter called I and go from 0 to n. And while we go through 0 to n, right, what we are going to do is we will try to accumulate the XOR of the elements so far that we have seen, right? So what I am calling that as left XOR. So left XOR is nothing but A, okay, in our this one. So and I have a right XOR similarly. I am calling that as right XOR, which is B, okay. So left XOR is A and right XOR is B. I just named it for the better understandability, okay. So now while we try to accumulate the XOR for the elements seen so far, we go through the rest of it. So let's say if we moved from I 0 to, let's say, some element 0 to 10, right? So from 11 till whatever the elements that we have until whatever the n, we try to accumulate the XOR again. That is, we are calling that as right XOR. Whenever we add an element from to right XOR, right, whenever we XOR an element with the right XOR, we try to compare whether left XOR is equal to right XOR at every step. If so, we update our counter. The counter will be initialized to 0 initially, okay. And while we go through that, right, we will update the counter. So there are some cases where we don't actually have to move our counter, move our right XOR. So the examples are like this: 0 2 2. Let's try to work out this with that example also. I is equal to 0, j is equal to 2, k is equal to 2. So this is, j and k can be equal. This is simply because that is given in the description, right? So I have put that in the comments, in my comments also. So we will go through the second part starting with j, right? So j and k can be equal, right? So 0 to j minus 1, right, 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is what? 2 and 3. So 2 and 3, if you do it, right, so 2 is what? So a is equal to 2 XOR 3 and b is equal to only 1, right? So 2 XOR 3, again we will go back to our binary representation and work it out. So this will be 0 1, will be 1 in the binary, in the integer representation. A and b are equal. A is equal to 1 and b is equal to also 1. So that's how. So we will check whether the current element, that means whatever the starting element in the right XOR is equal to the left XOR also. So when we are looking for the right XOR, we have to make sure the first element itself is equal to the left XOR or not. If it is equal, we just add to our counter, basically we increment our counter. So otherwise we go on and do the cumulative counter. So this is mostly resembling the brute force kind of implementation, but it is an accepted solution for this particular problem. I will probably upload another video very soon with a better implementation. So let's go ahead and try to work out through the code for now. Okay, so now let's call the length of the array as n and initialize the counter to 0, right? So these are the things that I have initialized just for the debugging purpose or whatsoever. Just makes it easier to count the number of triplets. I is equal to 0, j is equal to -1, k is equal to -1. I have initialized, but these are not required for anything. So we can just comment that out just in case. Okay. So now I am going through 0 to n. This is our first for loop, and I am initializing the left XOR and right XOR to -1. Okay. So to start with, my left XOR and right XOR are -1s. So now I will start from z to n. So if the left XOR is equal to -1, then I will just initialize with whatever the content of the array. Otherwise, we will do the XORing. The XOR operator is caret, right? So that's what we are using. So, and after that we will have to do the remaining elements. Wherever we see the left XOR equal to right XOR, right, then we will increment the counter. So, and this is the first thing. If the left XOR is equal to array of y and array of y is equal to x plus 1. So array of y. So that means the first element, if it is equal to left XOR, this is just to cater this kind of triplets, 0, 2, 2 kind of triplets. Okay. So now if it is, we will increment the counter and put into the right XOR, because we want to still continue. It may not be just right there. It can be multiple operations also can be possible, just like if we go back, right? So 0, 2, 2, right? So 0, 1, 2 and 0, 2, 2, they can be in the same for loop. That is possible, right? So that to cater that kind of triplets, I have included this right here, so that you don't have to go back. This will improve our time complexity by a little bit. Okay. So now else what we are going to do is, if right XOR is initialized, then if it is not initialized, we initialize. Otherwise we just try to do the XOR with right. So if left XOR is equal to right XOR and I is not equal to j, then only we will increment the counter, right? So since I am using this I is not equal to j in this for loop, right, let me uncomment this code to avoid the confusion. Okay, to avoid the confusion. This is just to avoid the confusion, even though the ij are different, right? So that's fine. So and k I am assigning to 1 and increment the counter. So if we go through this for loop, the second for loop, right, if it is done, that means we have completed one iteration with the current index. So that is how it is going to proceed. So for each iteration in the second for loop, we are going to re-initialize the right XOR. So finally we are going to return the counter, right? So basically that is how we are going to proceed with this particular algorithm. So as I said, this is resembling the brute force method. I will soon upload a better optimal implementation for this. So let's go ahead and look at the time complexity and space complexity for this algorithm. So time complexity, right? So we have the number of elements in this particular array as n, right? So that's what we are calculating, and we have, this is a for loop and this is another for loop where we are going from x is equal to z to n, right? And there is another one which is from whatever the x plus 1 to n, right? So this is like a split for loop. Basically this we are going from z to some number, and from here from some number plus 1 to n. So that is a split for loop basically. So but since we are going from going till n, right, so we will call the total time complexity will be order of n cube. Okay, order of n cube, the total time complexity. So even though practicality it will be much less than order of n cube, but since we are counting only the worst case time complexities, when we talk about the big O notation, we will say the time complexity is order of n cube. So let's go ahead up and look at the space complexity. So what space exactly that we are using? So apart from these 3-4 variables, we are not using any space, right? So all we are using are just the I, j, k, n and counter, right? So the space complexity, what we can say is order of 1. Okay, so the space complexity is constant. So this algorithm is a constant space and order of n cube algorithm. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below this video. I have posted this code to the GitHub repository. You can find the link in the description below this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe and also share among your friends. Please click on the bell icon so that you will be notified about my future videos. As I said, I will be uploading another video for this particular problem with a better implementation for the improvement in the time complexity. I will include that link in the description of this video very soon. So please check out the better algorithm or better code right, for this particular problem with a improved time complexity in the description section. I will add it as soon as I upload it. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be back with another problem very soon. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.